Thank you, Chairs. Superintendent Matayoshi, first of all, I'd like to express my appreciation to you and the administration of the Department of Education for all of the support that was provided to the schools, the students, the parents, and the community in both Keao and in Pahoa for the actions that the department took in terms of addressing the need for the students. And you will not believe how much of a relief that is for for those communities. And I just have to applaud the planning process that went forward within the DOE and their involvement of other community resources and stakeholders in getting this job done. And the transition, I personally have had no complaints from anyone in our community as far as how things were done, how it was handled, and the transition. And again, I'd like to thank the department for that effort.
Thanks very much, Representative.
That being said, though, I do have some questions moving forward. As you know, the funding for the portable buildings that were gotten to support Keonipoko North, and if I'm not mistaken, was only funded to the end of June.
That's correct.
And I guess the community and the schools are concerned as how is that going to move forward in terms of Keonipoko North and what's going to happen.
Thanks, Representative. Yes, Ron Ozoy, our deputy, was in what we call our lava calls every day to make sure that the transition on all levels, from personnel to facilities to teachers, moving schools, etc., were in place. And he continues those lava calls today. So I'm going to call on him to respond, because they've been in heavy discussions with a variety of organizations about the longer-term future of Keonipoko North.
Thank you, Superintendent. Representative, in response to your question about the status of Keonipoko North, the new school on the campus of Keao High School, we were able to secure a continued permitting to keep the temporary school temporary for another year, and now currently exploring a plan. The original plan was to lease the trailers, the temporary classrooms, for 12 months to provide an interim solution, but we're now exploring a plan to continue that effort going forward. Our teams are meeting now with county officials and internally at the department with the civil defense and Ka'ukiapoha leadership on a daily basis, and they are working on both short and long-term plans for the continuing year and for years beyond, which may include, seeking land from some of the very generous community partners and landowners there, as well as perhaps future capital developments. So currently, I think our plan is we're continuing to work through the different series of options and attempting to get to some numbers to talk about whether or not we may need an additional, or we might need to make an additional request going forward.
Okay, could you kind of give us an idea on the costs that was incurred for the establishment of Keonipoko North?
I'll ask our facilities team to come up, because we've just put all those numbers together for the FEMA request, the reimbursement request. So I'll ask Dwayne to speak to it.
Thank you, Representative. The total cost so far for the Keonipoko North is $3.9 million. That included all of the planning work, the permitting work, the leasing of the trailer classrooms that went there, as well as the infrastructure work to set up the campus. There was fencing involved, there were electrical connections that had to be made, all those kinds of things, and that's all included in that amount.
Thank you. And I guess this next question is back to Superintendent Matayoshi. In regards to moving forward, and there is, I guess, possibilities that, for example, Pahoa Elementary and High School could be affected in the future, whether it's air quality or other issues. What's going to be the process for the DOE looking at long-term solutions, because many on the Big Island believe that the lava flow is not going to stop, that it'll continue at some point reaching the ocean, cutting off the community of Pahoa, but it also may spread to cover much wider areas. So
one of the difficult things, as you know, is the unpredictable nature of the flow. What's also unpredictable is what families will do once 130 is cut off, because they may indeed move to Keao, but they may also move to other places. We've had families moving to Maui, to Oahu. Depending on where the rest of their family might be, what supports they have, they don't necessarily stay in Keao. We've seen more of an impact in Hilo than we have in Kona. But again, that might just be the first wave of people moving out who may have connections in Hilo. So one of our difficulties is trying to figure out, what are we planning for? Where are they going to go? We have had the Big Island Complex Area Superintendents talking with each other, because we do feel that it's more likely that students will remain on island, and looking at the capacity of the existing schools to accommodate those students. We were, not sure we still are, but we were tracking daily the movement of students, so pulling out, we still are. Okay. Daily tracking of when students pull out of, say, Pahoa High School and then enroll in Keao High School. So we're trying to make sure that we see where the movement is and where the trends are, and we'll continue to monitor that. Right now, we do think that there will be capacity, but again, it just depends on where they move.
thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Questions? Okay, Senator Kidani.
Thank you, Chair. Superintendent, I can assure you that your new CAS knows exactly the count of students in each school. I was able to join Representative Onishi this past Monday and visited the schools that have been impacted by the lava flow, and I will tell you that students, teachers, administrators are very grateful for the swift action that the DOE took, and thank you to your facilities people, because I understand that all of this was done, and Keonipoku North was set up within a matter of 2 months or so. Tremendous job. Tremendous job. I mean, and it looks very nice. And the way the facility was set up to separate the students on that campus. And just the campus itself, I was a little concerned because they do share a cafeteria. They do have different bell schedules for that. The drop-off area is the same at the cafeteria in the morning for all students, but they seem to have it very much under control. And what amazed me most was how quiet the campus was. And I kept telling Rep. Onishi and Keone, the new CAS, I was just amazed. But just the amount of work that went to do that amazed me.
Yeah.
I know it shouldn't, but I guess my point is when we collaborate together, there are a lot of things that can be done. And in just furthering Rep. Onishi's questions, I think I would also like to voice some concern for the teachers' plights, because there are many teachers that do not want to leave their schools and still have not changed, and they will continue to make the drive until the lava flow actually goes over Highway 130.
Right.
So I'd like to have some assurance from the DOE that you may be working with HSTA to see how we can take care of those issues too.
Yes, Ron's continuing his work with HSTA, and the teacher transfer period is coming up in February. So we're working very closely to make sure teachers understand what their options are and to have a really smooth process for the coming school year.
Thank you.
We'll keep you informed if there's any other questions that come up. We're happy to, go research it and figure out exactly what's going on in that particular instance if you know of any problems.
Thank you.